Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for coming. Coming off a hard-fought game down in Florida against Florida International. I was really proud of our team's effort, attitude going down there. We were shorthanded. We've got about 30 guys that are some way, shape, or form are hurt right now. We were down 7 starters in this football game, and our players just competed their tails off. It was up in the mid-90s. Throughout the game on the field. It was hot. We had guys that had to get IVs at halftime, but everybody competed hard for 60 minutes in this football game. And when you're going through a difficult stretch like we are right now, you can evaluate a football team by how they play and how they compete. And I really felt like our guys played their tails off in this game. I felt our entire team got a lift from Hayden Wolff coming into this game. And I thought overall he played well for his first time playing college football. The majority of the time when you're a freshman and it looks like you're going to redshirt, you spend your time in practice down running the scout team. You're going against the first defense, and you're getting chased repeatedly by guys like Keon White, who are coming off the edge being blocked by another freshman. And the one thing was evident in this football game is how much Hayden has practiced the last couple months getting the ball out of his hands quickly. You could see that in the game. He was sharp. He was on his reads. He threw the ball away when he needed to. He got the ball out quickly. And really one of the things our pass catchers, our receivers, tight ends, running backs learned in this game is that you got to get your head around, especially on a blitz, because that ball is going to come out. It's coming out fast, and I felt like he handled the moment. It wasn't too big for him, and I'm confident we'll see even a better performance out of the quarterback this week because the guys around him will play better. Special teams, this was a really solid performance, especially our punt team going against the #1 punt return unit in the nation. Bailey punted the ball 7 times, 43.6-yard average. 4 of his punts were inside the 20, and we were much better this week than we were last week from a field position standpoint. We won the drive start in this game repeatedly. We pinned them deep in their own end, which is what kept the score very consistent throughout the football game. Their returner, Alexander, only had 3 returns for 6 yards in the game. Jake Herslow made a couple of really nice tackles, so I was pleased with that unit. Our field goal unit, unfortunately, we got one blocked. We didn't execute protection in terms of the gap, and that was at the point in the second quarter when we could have taken a 10-9 lead. The guys got it corrected and handled it after that. Defensively, we held FIU below their scoring average, their yardage average in this game. Really good performance in the red zone. We forced 5 field goals in this game, 2 of them that they missed, and people kicking field goals against us this year, 11 for 19, and I know it's because of the pressure that we get. Cam Washington actually tipped one of their field goals in this football game, so our guys did a much better job in the red zone. Lawrence Garner, another outstanding effort, 10 tackles. He leads Conference USA in tackles. He's playing good football. I thought Keon White, for the second week in a row, was incredibly disruptive. He had 9 tackles in the game. He had 3.5 TFLs. He recovered the fumble that Derek Wilder caused on the strip sack and returned it to the 5-yard line. And then Ted Alexander, our anatomy of a play this week, we actually did 2 plays because he was in after the strip sack. He was in and made a key block on the next play on the touchdown. He's playing tight end for us in the goal line package. He's just playing at an incredibly high level right now. I think he's an all-conference player. He's only going to get better and better because defense is still new to him, and we're moving him around. He's playing multiple positions for us in the football game. The most disappointing play, and I thought the key play in the game, was the 54-yard, basically Hail Mary the quarterback threw up down the field. Keon tackled him right as he threw it. Our defender and their guy both had a shot at the ball. He tips it to himself, and they score the next play to make it 16-7. Offensively, I talked about Hayden Wolff, tremendous poise on his reads. Will play better around him. That's one of the focal points this week. Certainly getting Isaac Weaver back at center will help us. I think Chris Cunningham will be back this week, who's playing really good football at tight end. Blake Watson, outstanding kick returner, running back, should be back this week. So we'll get some more weapons back around him. We had the ball 6 times in their end in this football game and scored 3 times. And one of the things that we have to do a better job of offensively is not committing those key penalties or giving up a sack in critical situations, particularly when we cross midfield. Twice we knocked ourselves out of field goal range or an opportunity to go for it on 4th down with penalties in this game. Speaking to San Antonio, our opponent this week, they're 3-5, coming off a tough loss at Texas A&M, a game they trailed 14-7 with a minute to go before the half. This is a very physical football team. They've got a couple all-conference players in the offensive line. They're a veteran group. Defensive line is physical. I already made the point to our guys that this game will be a physical game up front. They work to establish the run. That's what they want to do offensively. They've got a veteran group of skill guys that play for them. And defensively, I mentioned their D-line is very physical. They're fast and physical overall, and they play hard. This team plays good football. So we're excited to be back home. I'm encouraging our fans to come out and see us play, particularly support the young quarterback. We're going to need it this weekend, but we're excited to be back home, and I will gladly take questions.
70 yards rushing against FAU and 64 last week. Whatever, there's going to be a lot of concentration to get better results.
Yeah, that's a critical area, Rick, we need to improve at. I was encouraged with Lala Davis. The ankle is, I still think it's about 75%, but he had 6 carries for 58 yards, had a couple really explosive runs. We need him to get back to the level that he played Virginia Tech when we had over 200 yards rushing. He was healthy. Keyshawn Strong was healthy. They're both banged up, Blake Watson's ankle, but it was encouraging to see Lala Davis have a couple of those explosive runs, because you need that off the RPO game for the pass part of it to work. You need to get some explosive runs, and until Hayden went in and started to throw the ball like he did, this was the first time in 6 weeks we saw some two-deep coverage. You know, it had all been press man, load the box, force the quarterback to throw, and when he started to hit a couple balls down the field, they started to play some two-deep, which opened up the run. So it'll be interesting to see how San Antonio plays us now that the quarterback has proven he can throw the ball, and we hit a couple explosive runs.
Anything else?
All right, thank you all for coming, and we'll look forward to seeing you Saturday at 2 o'clock.